Next volume. Oh, look at you. You are so cute. I'm going to try not to fall asleep in this stream because I have been up for quite a while today and I didn't take a nap. And I haven't had a coffee. So, good luck to me. We did volume 3 last time, so volume 4 this time. Yay. Oh, I forgot how much reading I'm gonna have to do. Fresh from your most recent bout of gratuitous bodily injury and touching scenes of camaraderie. Hello, you soldier on. Good morning, evening. I have no concept of time. It's evening for night. It's something for me. I think I should have taken a nap today. You've had a few setbacks, made a couple silly choices. Boy, do things just keep happening. Well, words. But let nobody say that you, the main character, are incapable of growth and change. Oh, it's 8 p.m. Oh, you're only like an hour behind me. You have made sure not to be caught in the wilderness near dawn again. You have made your way back to civilization. Oh, we made our way back. You can't wait to discover what new adventures await you. I really do have to work on finding a better place for the camera to sit, because it still makes me look like I'm sleeping while I'm trying to read. Wait, did I actually read that last line? I don't think I did. Learning, little by little. But MC is learning something. We're going for friendship again. I'm just gonna probably always start with the one on the left side. You wander down a street in a not too demolished looking part of town, but you don't really take much of it in. You're not looking where you're going. Oh, we learned not to stay in the sun after dawn, but we have not learned to look where we're walking. Okay, sounds about right. This is an elementary mistake, especially on a planet where everything that exists seems to be on a spectrum engineered specifically for murder to could be a weapon in a pinch. But you've got a lot on your mind. To be fair, I feel like a lot of stuff on Earth is also in that category. Yes. Aww. Sushi woke up and just like put her paw on my chin. MC has not learned to pay attention to their surroundings while on an alien planet. I don't know how MC did not learn that, like, after the hot dog incident. Because didn't we bump into him? And now, as the car, these guys probably have some ridiculous word for it, but you haven't learned it. You hadn't you hadn't noticed slams into you, sending you flipping head over feet. You add a few new concerns to your list. Your bones and organs. Well, technically we were already worried about those, but sure, we can get more worried since we've probably just broken several more. The sound of the driver yelling, "Watch, watch where you're going, lump squirt chugger," fades as they drive away and you assess your situation. You stretch each limb in turn, which you've gotta say doesn't feel great. You've landed in a bush which is covered in sharp spines. MC is a slapstick character without the immunity to injuries. Yeah, like very much so. Your arms and legs all the your arms and legs all still work though, and when you do an experimental cough, no blood comes out. Pretty lucky, you think? Actually, at this point, yeah, I think that would be pretty lucky. You may have redefined what luck means by this point in your journey, but you'll take what you can get. Take a shot every time MC gets injured. I want to live. I would consider doing a drinking stream at some point, but I am like anytime I drink and interact with technology, I am petrified that I'm going to accidentally damage something and I don't want to wake up to a damaged laptop. Like there's a reason that when I used to drink I would just like not do a whole lot other than read because it's very hard to damage a book like you can dropping laptops or dropping game systems like a Nintendo Switch or like I never had a PSP, but I probably would have been petrified of dropping that too. And didn't those take discs, which would have made me even more scared about dropping them? Because then, what if I damaged the thing and the disc inside? Oh, that was a whole tangent. You don't figure that luck will extend to the driver turning around to help you out of this bush. You're wait, did my brain read this correctly? Because I don't think it did. You don't figure that luck will extend to the driver turning around to help you out of this bush. Your gazes meeting and sparking an immediate and intense connection that leads to a beautiful lifelong friendship. But you let yourself hope. MC has all of the hope and none of the luck. MC wants to be in a rom-com, but fails miserably every time. After a few minutes of struggle, the answer to your what? After a few minutes of struggle, the answer to your comradely daydreams, is that a real word? Comes into focus above you, a figure outlined by the spiny leaves of your plant prison in the glow of the moons. I'm gonna Google that word and see if that's an actual word. I can't spell today. No. That's a real word. The troll you see isn't the driver of the car, but you don't care. Your heart is beating wildly with your continued lucky streak. Sure, we'll call that up. Hello. What is that up there? Where are you trying to go? Back in here? Okay. Hello, you seem to have fallen victim to a collide and scamper with that scuttle buggy back there. Oh, that's... I think I'm going to forever call them a collide and scamper. Oh, I'm gonna be broke, and I'm pretty sure I'm already broke, ain't I? Have you contacted your personal... legislacerator? If not, I'd like to offer my services. I don't know if I approve of you already charging for your services when we haven't even started yet. Oh, you got a name. My name is Tagora Gortek. But please, call me Gorgor. I'm here for you. For a nominal fee, of course. He pulls a business card from his sleek teal vest and offers it to you with a precise flick of the wrist. His claw beds are perfect. I can believe that the theme would be called Call Me Gorgor. It feels like I would owe money after listening to this. Although I am quite intrigued. He tried again to sit up, buoyed by his offer, but I don't even know how it's that. I don't even know if that's how you say that word, but I'm just gonna work with it. Buoyed by this offer for assistance. He's some type of doctor, maybe? Or lawyer? No, honey, I think he's a scam artist. It doesn't matter, really, because he said he was here for you. Those words go right ahead and burn themselves into the softest chamber of your heart. You start telling him your plight thus far, reaching up through the fuck. Me and reading things are just not working today. But I'm already this far in. MC constantly gets manipulated so easily. There is no going on. MC has already gotten manipulated into whatever's going on here. All because Gorgor said, I'm here for you. You start telling him your plight thus far, reaching up through the brambles towards this beacon of hope. I would not call him a beacon of hope. This guy seems trustworthy. No, he doesn't. And that's not just your lack of options talking, you swear. I don't even think it's your brain talking. As you shift, the moonlight shines on you. He steps back briefly, dropping the card. The one eye that's not covered by a swoop of product-infused hair opens wide. Dude saw us and just went, what the fuck is that? He recovers, smoothing his hand down his chest and straightening up, clearing his throat as you continue to explain. You're, what? Oh yes, an alien. I knew that. I've done work with aliens before, so your situation shouldn't be an issue at all. We are racking up quite a debt already, aren't we? By the way, the Alternatian at the top translates to payment owed for legal services offered. Yeah, we're racking up a hell of a debt. Everyone deserves an equal opportunity to be represented by me. Also, I cannot do what I consider a convincing masculine voice, so I'm just not going to. In fact, we may be able to use this in our favor for a larger cash settlement. It all depends on our angle. Here, try moving your chug column. What is the little asterisk and blank line down at the bottom? Is that like his weird speech thing like the others have? Like a signature line, basically? Are you just dangling a foot? Oh, you are so cute. I'm gonna see if I can take a picture of Sushi without waking her up. Oh, here we go. Okay, continuing on, now that I'm not completely sidetracked. Did I finish drawing? Yeah, good enough. And signature line to represent the he is done talking type of thing. Oh, my ankle. I kind of like the signature line thing. I think that's been the most fun one for me. You're not sure why this is necessary, but you wiggle your torso, hoping that's right. You've never wanted anything more in your meager existence than to follow this specific directive perfectly. No, not that. You add a little hip jiggle. Not so much that he might think it's a come on, but enough to say, hey, I'm friendly and I know what the fuck I am doing. Well, we don't know what the fuck we're doing, that's the problem. I like that MC thinks that there is a hip jiggle that does not seem like a come on. No, your thing that holds up your think pan, work with me. You continue what you hope is a small part of a troll friendship ritual, shimmying various parts of your anatomy deeper into the bush until you get to your neck. And he claps his hands together. Is he just making this look more likable? Yeah, like, with no hesitation and no shame, I'm actually kind of proud of him. There we go. That one hurt, didn't it? Definitely a case of column snap, which can get us a decently hefty restitution. Your neck feels fine, or it doesn't hurt any more than the rest of you, but you give him what you hope is a convincingly painful nod of agreement. Of course, you will need to front the initial God, that word again. Legislation costs. We may also have to injure you further to ensure our case is convincing, but you've got to break a few chuckle beast embryos to make a grublet, as you well know. Wait, didn't we already have... No, we had a consultation fee. I need to know if legislation is a real word, too. Okay, good. That one is not, like, a real word that I'd just never seen before. That one is, in fact, like, specific to... Like, yeah. Yes, I think we may make a mutually beneficial team if you're willing to do what it takes to bring about the justice you deserve. So, what do you say? How would you like to help me help you? I think I could make a convincing con man. Or at least an adorable one. Yeah, that's what the legislator plus laceration thing is what I thought it was at first, but I've also, like, had to Google more than one word in here to discover that it's real. And or what it means, so I had to double check to make sure that one wasn't already a real word. He's talking really fast, and you're not sure exactly what to think about your lack of funds or the idea of breaking any more bones, but that smile is sharp and shiny and pointed right at you. You want more of it. You're not wrong. Hold on. I am saving here because I can promise I already know which one's the bad end. Because it's definitely the pro bono work. I reckon MC does have a thing for smiles, because that is what our MC talks about being, like, the most convincing thing. And wanting to see more of. I know that the immediate end is going to be asking him if he does pro bono work. Because there's no way he doesn't with the fact that we've already racked up a debt of 900. That's my throat. You thank him profusely for his offer to help and explain that while your situation hasn't exactly left you rich, you'll pay him back in glorious friendship. The most infinite of resources. You lay it on thick. He seems like the type of guy who can appreciate a good deal when he sees one, and you can't imagine a better deal than this. You reach both arms up, waiting for him to scoop you up out of this pain plant like the gentle baby you are. Oh god, MC did just pull the I'll pay you in exposure, but crappier somehow. Sorry, I don't do charity. Such a shame, too. I was hoping working with an alien make my... Oh, words! I was hoping working with an alien might make for more interesting days than usual. Well, at least we're not in debt anymore. He turns on his heel and walks away, his high ponytail swishing behind him. Who am I kidding? I knew that one was coming. I do like the idea of someone just like waltzing away with their hands behind their back like that. Alright. Time to go again. Alright, we are going to tell him about the heaps of money we definitely have. Asterisk, we have no money. At all. You mentioned how incredibly loaded you are, and how core to your sense of values it is to pay well for good work. That's what we call good business. Now, get up out of that freckle frond and let's get you presentable. He watches you flail. Oh, the mental image of MC just flailing around in a spiky bush is kind of entertaining. He watches you flail a few times before he sighs, unbuttons his sleeves, and rolls them up to his elbows. Each fold is crisp and even. It takes a while, but you're good at being patient. Oh, I think this volume may doom me. Ow. Gotta get comfy. Oh, I thought that said 12 page. Okay. There's a 12% cost increase for instances of manual labor. It'll all be explained in your bill. It's itemized. Oh, good, it's itemized. Wait, hey. Quit stepping on the mouse. Nope, you can't lay on the keyboard. Sushi, I love you, but you... If you're gonna press buttons and sit on the mouse, you can't sit up here. Here. Continuing. I gotta make sure I didn't skip anything when she did that. Oh, sorry. I was drinking a soda earlier today, and every single time I took a sip, I would hiccup. Which I don't drink sodas very much. Like, this is the first one I've had in months. So, I'm actually more surprised that it didn't do worse than just hiccups. Maybe that's why my tummy was upset. Okay. Back on track. like completely derailed. I'm sure an alien of means such as yourself will be able to handle it. Yeah, because I definitely missed that line. You take his hand and he pulls you up out of the bush. Up, yeah, sure, whatever. It's kind of a rough job. He's not as strong as he looks, you guess. I'm sorry, he's dressed pretty, and he is pretty. And he's got a nice smile. I don't need him to be strong. I need him to talk his way into dumb shit. I wonder if Tagora will allow the bill to be paid in other ways. Ah! I will worry about that later. He glares at you like he's daring you to say shit about it. And you're a quick learner. He cuts you off mid thank you. My office isn't far from here. We can go there to get things started. By things, I obviously mean get you clean and sign a lot of vaguely worded, yet stringently binding documents. He talks with a purpose. He shakes off the flora stuck in your various body parts and do your best to catch up. I may have to start playing games that like read things for me so that I don't have to struggle with reading. From the outside, his office basically just seems like his hive. You've learned a thing or two during this shitstorm of cultural exchange. Though, you gotta play it cool when a potential friend invites you home. You never know when. Ooh, words. You never know what cages or monsters or methods of evisceration they might have laying around, and you want to prepare a nice, chill look on your face for whatever carnage you're about to be confronted by. Oh, this is nice. I was expecting shady, dingy lawyer's office. Well, con man's office. I like his eyebrows. It doesn't work. Your face falls to bewildered hell when you walk inside, and it's because all the chrome and glass and broad white walls in there. It's like he bought the fanciest looking crate and barrel display room he could find, down to the last useless minimalist accessory, and then never sat down in it. Oh yeah, I like his Lucis. What is Crate and Barrel? Is that like an actual store? I I don't do like furniture shopping or anything in real stores. I just tell Master what I want in my room and give Master the money, and Master takes care of the rest. His Lucis, a ferret, is chilling on an enormous silver thing that's halfway between a throne and a play tower. Oh, furniture store. Interesting. I have no idea if there are any of those around me either. I kind of want the Lucis play tower over there though, because like that's nice. If I had somewhere in here to put it, I would definitely get like a cat tower like that. Everything is clean and bright and at perfect right angles, and you don't see any weapons anywhere. That's when you should be worried. If you can't see the weapons, it's fucking creepy. You ask him if he just moved in, because polite conversation seems like maybe the best thing you can do. In the absence of something specific to focus your fear on, you're just sort of a little afraid of everything. You're not paying to learn. You're not paying me to learn my life story, unless you'd like to. In that case, no. I've lived here most of my life. I'll go ahead and add that to your bill. Fuck. Oh, that was a big jump there. Yeah, MC is getting used to Alternia. Used enough to it that, like, what I would consider a pretty cool office is terrifying because it's not also covered with things that can kill MC. You stare at one of the chairs. Should you sit in it? By all means, do not make yourself at home. Okay. That's a word. Head straight to my ablution trap. I don't know if I said that right. Ablution? Ablution? Trap while I prepare our contract. You really want to connect with this guy, and you like how you just vibed there where you were thinking about sitting on your bedraggled ass in his fancy chair, and he could totally tell you were thinking it. But you don't want to be friends badly enough to walk straight into something that has the word trap right there in its name without at least pondering it for a second. You've become savvier during all this. I'm sorry, I have to. We have to take a goddamn bath. You're more than a little concerned about the trap part of the instructions you just received. But hey, at least the trap you know about is better than one you don't. Yeah, that is some interesting way of thinking. And with everything else you can see so freaky, pristine, he has to be hiding some evil somewhere. You wonder if it's a dungeon. A dungeon would be cool. I wasn't expecting the Lucis to just hop on down. I just assumed that it was part of the background image and not like something separate. The ferret bounds down off the pedestal and jerks its head for you to follow it. You do, because it seems like a regular thing to do. And Tagora is busy on his computer. Ooh, what is that sparkly thing? It leads you to a bathroom, which is just as fancy and clean as everything else you've seen. There's a lot of products there. How often is he bringing clients here to like take a bath before signing vaguely worded documents? The Lucis chitters at you for a second, squirms its big noodle body around, and leaves, shutting the door behind it. Cool looking bathroom. It is a cool looking bathroom. Like, I'd almost like to have like a private bathroom here like that. But there's not the space to build one, nor is there a room that people would be okay with me taking over to renovate into one. You wait a second till it's probably gone before you test the handle. It's unlocked. Huh. Oh. I mean, I would assume the lock would be on this side of the door anyways. I mean, it's not like we really need the door to be locked. They both know you're in there. Ow. Every single stream I say I really need to get a new chair, and then by the time the stream ends and the next one starts, I forget how uncomfortable this chair really is. But I can't get one with this coming paycheck. That's got to wait probably a good couple of weeks because I am paying for a lot of stuff with this paycheck. I may or may not have broken several things in the lab. You wait a second. Oh, wait, I already read that. We good. You wonder what the point or, motive might be for leading you to this room until you turn and see yourself in the mirror. I really wish that there was a like cutscene, I guess, with or CG with just like MC in shredded clothes, covered in mud, just like staring blankly into the mirror. You wonder what the wow, I promise that there's a reading module somewhere. It's just not turned on and connected. That is some haggard looking stuff right there, so fair. You're flying by the seat of your pants, but you guess maybe you're supposed to take a bath. If not, and he gets pissed and unleashes the ferret on you, at least you'll meet your maker nice and clean. You have to expect some indiscernible goo or blood or something to come out of the faucet in the weird lumpy tub, but thankfully it's just water. You know what? Maybe Gorgor has done some dealings with aliens. Once you're in, you take a look at the truly inordinate amount of bath products you have at your fingertips. There are 3 shelves of little bottles and soaps, and unidentifiable lathersome accessories by the tub alone. There's even more by the mirror. The label. The labels are all gibberish, of course, but you sniff a few until you find something flowery and go to town. Oh, hell no. Why's it gotta be flowery? You take more time than you should in there, but you haven't experienced a mode of luxurious solitude in a bit. Full-time friendship searching can be difficult work. It's good to recharge. Once you're freshly scrubbed and dried, you slather yourself head to toe with some lotion you find in an iridescent vial. So is the rainbow sparkly thing the iridescent vial? You hope he won't mind you using it. He wants you to be presentable, and this stuff is sparkly. it was a sparkly one. I'm surprised we haven't had a bathing fee pop up for our lovely little debt. Oh, absolutely. They both got plenty of money to be able to have a massive, beautiful bathroom like this. And they both look like they take really long, nice, relaxing baths. You're starting to feel rejuvenated as hell. Ready to knock this friendship stuff right out of the park. You leave your dirty, torn up old clothes on the floor, wrap yourself in one of the many satin bathrobes, fold it on the shelf, and head back out to find Tagora. They all are. Oh, pick up. He's standing in his. So I have grown up in the United States of American South. Is it foyer or foyer? We're just gonna go with foyer because that's what we say around here. Oh, good, it is foyer. I have heard some people call it a foyer, and I could not figure out if that was correct. Anyways, he's standing in his foyer, waiting with the contract he typed up for you. When he sees you, his eyebrows tick up. In a good way. I hope in a good way. Ah, fuck, we're about to get a massive charge for that, ain't we? I think you went with the Rainbow Drinker Serum full body application. Bold choice. I mean, it's an incredibly rare and expensive product, and I do expect to be remunerated, but I won't lie, it works. It works. What the fuck? Something tells me that our friendship acquired with him will be us paying off all of this fucking debt. Yeah, sure, that stuff. You don't want to let on that you don't know what it is, since he seems impressed. Instead, you give his ego a little stroke and tell him you hadn't seen such a sumptuous array of self-care. I know this word. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it. Accoutrements. And so long that you couldn't help yourself. We're just gonna work with whatever I just said. Not everyone takes skincare as seriously as they should. I assumed that you were taking forever in there because you'd gotten lost or didn't know how to use the ablution trap. I hadn't considered the possibility that you were just doing your regimen. Noted. Oh, yes! We got debt taken off because he thinks we were doing skincare and weren't just standing around going, holy shit, that's a lot of stuff. You hold your arms out to admire the well-hydrated sheen you have going. This time, you're not really even bullshitting. It just does actually look pretty good. Tagora seems like he's struggling. He keeps opening his mouth to say something, then changing his mind. He's clutching the documents in his hands like a flotation device. He looks down at them, then back at you. I typically only use that particular product to highlight my cheek blades, but there's no real reason you shouldn't apply it more liberally, especially if cost isn't an issue. That's a little drastic for my personal style, but there is a certain unorthodox glamour to it. The next bit looks like it hurts him a bit to get out. Do you? Would you like to step outside to see the full effect? Are we gonna sparkle like a motherfucker when we step outside? Is this basically do we basically just apply a liquid highlighter all over our body? You bet your ass you would. You're curious about what he means by effect. And this seems like more fun than signing stuff. He places the documents down on his desk like they're made of glass, not paper. He looks up at his Lucis, who just sort of tilts its head to the side. Nope, fuck. Every once in a while, my mouse will like double click when I try to click, so that's fun. Okay, so it didn't. Okay, it just skipped to the end of the line. Good. Hey, where'd it go? There it is. You look away and give them privacy to do whatever whatever eyeball communication is going on. After a bit, Tagora clears his throat and heads towards the door. Oh, why is he blushing? You don't comment on the bluish flush in his cheeks. For all the shift in his demeanor, he still seems like he might kick you out on your ass if you try to get too feelingsy with him. You start to glow as soon as you step back out into his dark front yard. Not in a light bulb kind of way, but in a subtle, ethereal luminescence. What is this stuff? Now that is a look. I mean, there's still the unfortunate issue of your hornlessness and overall aberrance, and the fact that you're still wearing my ablution robe. Oh yeah, we never did probably. Well, what were we gonna get dressed in? Our clothes were torn and filthy. But it's a cutting edge. I'll give you that. You almost look like a real one. You don't know what that means, but you want to roll around eternally in the praise part. You ask if the look will help your case. Right, your case, of course. This motherfucker took one look at us after we had a bath and went, I just forgot about the case, huh? I'm starting to think that maybe he would be okay with being repaid in other ways, considering how this conversation has gone. He bites his lip and looks back through the window at the papers sitting on the desk where he left them. You hope he still wants to represent you. Or at least that he'd want to hang out with you even if he wasn't going to. Oh, honey, I think he does. You don't get a chance to prod, though, because right then someone rounds the corner on the sidewalk in front of his hive. That look of panic is so beautiful. Tagora's face immediately shudders into its usual simpering mask. There's an edge of panic around his eye, though. Huh. Yeah, he's biting his lip. I'm pretty sure he wants to do more than just hang out. Wow, Gorjek, what have we here? It's a blue theme troll, which if you remember right, means he's a fancier guy than Tagora. He's grinning like Troll Christmas came early. You can feel Tagora vibrating out of his skin next to you. Oh my god, are you okay? Who even is this guy? When he gets close enough to get a good look at you, he jumps and screeches, "What the bulge boiling fuck?" Tagora is frozen. The corner of his mouth pulled back to show his teeth. Oh, his sprite is like actively vibrating. Okay. The new guy is ignoring him in favor of noticing that you're dressed as. Well, this is going to take a turn. The new guy is ignoring him in favor of noticing that you're dressed in Tagora's monogrammed leisure wear, as if his look of fascinated horror is anything to go by. You don't really know what makes you do it. You should wait for Tagora to get himself together and do the talking. But you're riding high of him almost seeming like he was enjoying your company. Plus, nothing boosts confidence like looking like a beautiful spooky angel. So, you toss your head, put on your best fancy guy voice and say, "What? Never seen a real one before?" Oh. I love that we're getting ourselves into something that we have no idea what we're getting ourselves into. You're placing all your chips on this guy knowing something you don't. But when his eyes get huge and he starts stumbling over himself to back away down the sidewalk, you know it's paid off. Tagora blinks, then jumps right in, picking up directly where you left off. Surely someone as well informed as yourself knows a rainbow drinker when he sees one. The blue guy doesn't respond with anything more than coherent. With any. Wow, this sentence broke me more than anything else has so far, and I've been stumbling the entire time. The blue guy doesn't respond with anything more coherent than a string of yelps as he hightails it back the way he came. When he's gone, you turn to Tagora and ask him super casually what a rainbow drinker is. He stares at you in stunned silence. Are you telling me you didn't know? You nod. And that you ran with it anyway, exploiting the fear you picked up on to turn the tide of a delicate encounter to your favor. You shrug. You guess so. You tell Tagora you hope his friend wasn't too freaked out. Honey. Bless your heart, that was not a friend. Friend? No, I hate that guy. There are simply times when being liked by your betters is helpful. Though, technically, fearing me is just as good. Better, maybe. MC has one manipulative, cunning bone in their body, and they used it. So, you know, definitely only one. We've seen the rest of the route, the past routes. They were not cunning or manipulative. No. Thank you. Tagora's laugh is soft. It's not a sound you expected to hear. He's happy because of something you did. You can't help it. You start laughing too. That was a bit of a rush, wasn't it? It was almost fun. You certainly didn't see it coming anyway. I certainly didn't see it coming anyway. I underestimated you. He gives you an appraising look, then takes a deep breath. You're so nervous all of a sudden. You feel unbalanced on the precipice of what he might be about to say. The fuck is that word? You're giving me a vocab lesson today too. Is this a real word? Oh, that's a real word. God damn it. Oh, hold on. I can feel a hiccup. Oh, there we go. From one yeah, I don't blame Gorgor for underestimating us at all. Like, I'd be underestimating us too at this point. How do you say this? Prevaricator? From one prevaricator to another, I will let you in on something. I haven't actually encountered an alien before. We just got a surcharge for a truth reveal. Oh, sweet relief. You tell him his act was airtight. And as long as everyone's doing the truth thing, you admit that you lied a bit too. You aren't actually rich. Yes, that's clear now. You have the invaluable ability to fake it, though. That's potentially much better. Why don't we put your case on hold for the time being? You wouldn't have enjoyed the outcome of our legal system anyway. We can find an alternate means of working off your debt. I think we may make a better team than I previously anticipated. With our wits combined, we can tackle bigger, better things than traffic injuries. He places his hand at his side. Then in one swift and decisive moment, he extends it out to you. On his face is something close to an honest-to-God, real-ass smile. I've never actually formed a legitimate partnership of any sort before, but I believe this is how it's done. What do you say? Hey, we get a friendship discount. The glow in your heart shines brighter than any expensive and still kind of mysterious lotion. You take his hand in your firm, no nonsense grasp of pure and inexorable joy and shake it. I like that we're still signing something. We're so sparkly. I like that we're still signing something there, though. We're all sparklito. Yahoo! Okay. So, now that we've done that one. Yes, bad end. I almost forgot that we didn't already get that bad end. You tell him you would rather stay away from any and all traps if that's alright. You mentioned that you think that's the better move for both of you. Something tells you that this guy wants to know what's in it for him. Probably all the times he's explicitly said that. You do have that vibe going after all. He taps a claw on his chin and looks at you up and down. He takes his time. You try not to blush, no matter how exacting his gaze is. I thought it said exciting. You present a solid case. Your whole look is more than a bit repellent, but it may make the pitiable lost alien angle more emotionally effective if you still look like you just got run over. Frown. Takes you a second to realize he didn't just say his physical emotive response instead of doing it with his face. He's giving you a direction. Oh, I thought he was just saying that he was frowning. You stick your lower lip out and try to look as pathetic as possible. Yes, this is really working for me. It's awful. Completely repugnant. Your general squalor should function as a simple manipulation tactic, no matter which direction I decide to spin it. The praise makes it hard to keep frowning, but you do your best to keep it up. You even hunch over a bit and shamble a few meager steps towards him. Great. Yes. That's enough. No need to come any closer. Okay then, we'll skip the hygiene and get straight to the best part. Bureaucracy. Stay right there and don't let... Tagora type is either cunning rainbow drinker or very pathetic. Yeah, that's what it seems like. Stay right there and don't get any of your crusty alien orifices near my decor. I'll go print out our contract and we can move on. Re-ink-bursement. You pretend you're a statue. You pretend you're a statue while he types things, then prints the typed things, then staples the printed things. His ferret Lucis stares at you with beady interest. You stare back, completely motionless. You wonder how often Gorgor has friends over. Almost likely. He brings the packet over to you and hands you a pen. Read this. Or don't. Sign it either way. It's a standard legislator agreement, tweaked a bit to accommodate your particular situation. Oh my god, there's so much fucking text. Hold on. I feel like this needs to be read at the speed of light, and I cannot do that. You know, you agree to submit your testimony to be judged, and will accept whatever subjugation you receive. You recognize that any potential winnings are to be remitted to me for processing through a local account before your portion can be dispensed to you. In the event of your culling, I will act as executor of your accounts. Blah blah, same old business. I'm sure it's the same where you're from. There are stars at each place you are to initial. sure was a lot of stuff you just got told real fast. You were trying to listen, really, but he winked at you early on in his monologue, and it was really distracting because you couldn't stop thinking about if you could incorporate a wink into a secret handshake, maybe? Hands down, Gorgor is definitely the most flirty one that I've seen so far. Anyway, regular legal jargon, yeah. Uh, just like all the times you click to say you read the terms and conditions on any old harmless social media app. That stuff never ends up being relevant. You show off your. Oh, that was interesting. I think I just choked on a hiccup. You show off your exquisitely polished John Hancock as many times as it takes. Excellent, excellent. Everything's in order then. Are you ready to head out? Oh, like, now? Now? I didn't even realize that one wasn't a real word. You're not ready. Do you look roughed up enough? Will your bones need to go through any more ordeals? What's the subject? What's the subject later? Does Tagora no sweep like the one you're fucking in, as they say. Pardon the language. It's an idiom. You don't have to forgive any kind of language. It means it's time to fucking go. You followed him out about as apprehensively as you followed him in. As you retrace the path you took not too long ago, it occurs to you to wonder where this glorious feat of justice is going to take place and, like, if anyone's going to subpoena that asshole that hit you. Oh. Is that even a thing here? You skip to match Tagora's pace and ask, we skip? Yeah, no, wait, that's pretty on par for MC. There's no real need for you to worry about that. It's for me to deal with. I saw the perpetrator, of course. If it seems prudent to pin the crime on them when the time comes, I will have more than enough credible evidence to condemn them. What do you mean, if it seems prudent to pin the crime on them? They're the perpetrator? Their blood test should be sufficient, but if it seems worth it to call in their dented scuttlebuggy, I can certainly do that as well. Of course, that's not the only way we can spin this. It may not be necessary to involve them at all. What do you mean it's not necessary to involve them at all? Don't bother worrying about that either. Oh no, I feel like I should be worrying about that. You definitely still worry about that, but you nod and keep walking like you're not bothered. You want to match his level of easy confidence. It's almost comforting to be around it now that you've spent some time with him. It's simple. Bitch, what part of this is simple? You're still basking in the ease of being told what to do when the whole vibe flips over on its back. It flips over on its ass so fast you feel it like an ice. You feel it like ice down your back. I'm sorry. This, I understand it's supposed to be like a terrified expression, but he also looks kind of constipated. You look at Tagora first. He stopped walking, and his posture somehow gets straighter. Is that what happened? Because the sprites do not reflect that. Even his cute little ponytail thing looks more alert. He's staring at the approach of another troll, the blue guy. You know that means high blood, but not much else about what that entails, aside from what you're picking up. From the full hair on end, cat reaction from old Gorgor next to you. Pleasant evening, sir. His voice gets somehow sweeter and more professional at the same time. You recognize that he's you recognize what he's feeling because you felt it in yourself the whole time you've been on this godforsaken planet. A deep, all-consuming thirst for approval. He's getting hard for business boyfriendship. High blood, however, is not. At first you think he might be chill, because his smile gets huge, and hell if you don't love getting smiled upon. Yeah, Friendsim MC has a thing for smiles for sure. Oh. I feel like I just pop rocks. Hold on, I gotta adjust some settings real quick. Here we go. For some reason, every time I plug or unplug my charger into my laptop, it resets my battery mode from balance to performance, and I can't figure out how to set it so that it will only stay on balance. Like if I plug it in, it switches to performance, and if I unplug it, it also switches to performance. So I have to change it every single time I plug this bitch in. Or unplug this bitch. You start to introduce yourself until Tagora shoots you up. Be cool. Look. It's then that you learn that this guy's smile is not the nice kind. What's this? Yes. Gorgor picked up a little friend. It's not... We have a working relationship. Do we? Actually, in this route, we very much do. You try not to let his dismissal of your friendship sting. You're not there yet. It's okay. You want to be helpful, so you put on your best injured face and start hobbling in a circle. Twisting your neck in the most grotesque angle you can manage without actually hurting yourself. You groan pitifully about all your bones. Oh, right. Your booming drone pursuing business. This, client you have here looks extra shitty. Yeah, I don't know what MC thinks MC is doing, but MC is not doing what MC needs to be doing. Good luck getting good luck getting anything good for whatever this mutant is that you scraped up from the gristle grape. If you take a moment to consider the potential, the blue guy rolls his eyes and keeps walking, elbowing his way right between the two of you on his way past like you're nothing. Oh, he's vibrating again. Tagora freezes. His eyes stay fixed ahead of him, where the blue guy was just standing. It's like he hasn't processed the movement yet, even though he got knocked back a few steps in his wake. He starts shaking. Yikes, that was, tense. You want to say something reassuring to Tagora, but he has kind of ascended into another plane of existence. Maybe a nice reassuring pat on the shoulder will help diffuse the mood. You put a ginger hand in the mere vicinity of his body and he whirls to face you, his eyes narrow and breathing heavy. You snatch your hand back fast. Mistake. You. Do you have any idea how rare that networking opportunity was? Do you realize what you... No, of course you don't. You don't know anything. You're just a weird little hornless thing who doesn't even know how to cross the fucking street. Did that little thing that popped up say return of the swear jar? Because, like, honestly, this is a very understandable reaction to what just went down. He starts laughing all high pitched and weird. Up until now, he seems so slick, so unflappable. That Gorgor is hard to reconcile with the one pacing back and forth, hollering and grabbing at his face. He's pretty goddamn flap. Oh boy, you really screwed up, huh? Maybe your busted neck routine was not convincing enough? Or too convincing? Either way, you figure now might be the time to bow out before this scene really blows up. You tell him so. Your neck is fine. Look, you headbang a bit to prove it. No. A deal is a deal. He breathes in slowly through his nose. Alright, Gorgor. Remember your mantra. He closes his eyes. After an awkward minute of watching him whisper something unintelligible to himself, he opens them and immediately starts up that bonkers pace again. So you skedaddle to catch up with him. Well, to catch up. He keeps talking, though by now he's just talking to himself, with you as an eavesdropping barnacle with really slow legs. Little manic giggles bubble out in between his sentences. He's gonna kill us. We're headed towards justice, alright? Keep walking. We'll see this through. I've got a bottom line to uphold. Oh, okay. Not bad. Maybe things are still cool between you. Maybe this lawyer-client relationship still has a chance to blossom into something more. You venture a friendly type topic and ask him about his mantra. He stops walking. He stops walking and looks at you like you shat on as loose as his grave. You don't just ask someone what their mantra is. Maybe not so cool. He shivers, spooked, and turns his stanky stare from you to the path you're on. After a moment, he smooths back all the hairs he shook out of place during his freakout, pivots, and turns down a side street. We are so going to die. Anyway, as I was about to say, there are many ways to fulfill the terms of our contract. I was hoping this would lead to a more stimulating evening. I was prepared to get into it with you. For you. But it has become clear that this partnership is no longer worth the work. Especially now that I will have to consider the significant career setback I just experienced at your feckless hand. So, instead of wasting any more of my time or yours, let's take a shortcut to the same end result, sparing us both the agony of enduring a long court battle in the proximity of one another. Here's your verdict. You're guilty. Guilty. Wait. Wasn't it supposed to be the other guys on trial? You look around, panic rising in your chest. Oh, don't tell me. You don't know how the legal system works either. Unsurprising and uninteresting. Oh, this is bad. You've been so caught up in watching him talk that you didn't notice him guiding you straight to the shittier part of town. You know, the part that's half demolished, hives and creepy noises and drones flying around. Drones like the one that turns to notice you when Tagora whistles, snaps his fingers, and points right at your head. Hey, big guy. Over here. One extremely malformed and unviable troll. Just the way you like it. You shouldn't feel surprised at this betrayal, maybe. But you do. For a second, anyway. Then you focus on yelling and scanning for possible debris to hide to hide under. I'm sorry, but I feel like yelling is the worst thing you can do in this scenario. Tagora starts backing away as the drone gets closer. There's a sewer the next street over. You probably won't make it. But if you do, check your pocket. He sent us with the bill even though we're gonna be fucking dead. I think I might be in love with this character. Yeah. Alright. So, how do you pronounce this one's name? Is it Vicare or Vicare? Um, although I do really like both sides of Gorgor. Like, I think him and Skyla have been my favorites so far. It's probably best for you to stop trying to predict what's going to happen to you at this point. I don't think there's an official pronunciation. Okay, so just whatever comes out of my mouth. Okay. It's probably best for you to stop trying to predict what's going to happen to you at this point. Everything that's happened so far on this planet has been kind of chaotic. In fact, you're ready for something more familiar. You head back to the site of your abandoned spaceship. Sure, it's smashed beyond repair, but it's a little slice of home. Maybe at least one or two of the pieces of it are fixable. You march off in what you think is the right direction. When you get there, you're not alone. A little guy in a hat and big goggles is standing there, gazing at your spaceship. Maybe assessing it. As you watch, he breaks. I don't think he's assessing it. I think he's looting it. As you watch, he breaks off a couple gears and stuffs them in his pocket. Hey! You clear your throat loudly. This was not the music I was expecting here. Good gallon of gravy. Why, I've never seen the likes of you before. What strange wonders the heavens have rained down upon us today. You quickly lose any indignation you were building up. He's smiling at you, and his words seem at least somewhat amicable. Maybe you got this all wrong. Maybe this is the next person you're going to get chummy with. You cut right to the chase. No point in beating around the leaf. No point in beating around the ground leaf covering. That's probably what they call it on this planet. Tip of the tongue. Interesting. You let this guy know you're the proprietor of the spaceship he's stripping, and you're in mighty need of a new friend. A friend, eh? A bosom companion, a pal about town. I've seen Neri Tommen, Dickus, or Harry around these parts who might fit the bill. You were kind of trying to imply that this guy could be your friend. Is it too late to say that now? You try to imply it with your eyebrows. As for me, day-to-day matters here in Alternia interest me not. Oh, I was going to do that pose while talking, I'm not gonna lie. For I care only about hurtling at great speeds through the boundless expanse of the cosmos. That's right, space. It is space flight that consumes my every waking thought and all my ardor. As in accordance with my duty as a future Alternian Crusader, of course. No oxygen, no wind, total vacuum. That is the life for me, alright. Flying in space above the atmosphere, not within the realm of gravity's purview. I wouldn't have it any other way. Right. You get the feeling you're missing something. This guy seems really defensive about his interest in spaceflight. Like, maybe he's trying to say something totally different? Whatever it is, his internal conflict clearly takes precedence over your issues. He seems like a great candidate for a friend, despite the fact that his voice sounds like it belongs over a newsreel about World War II. I have just one query for you, sport, if I may be so bold. Do you also like spaceflight? Do you yearn to see the moon shining above, the clouds whipping by as you chase and tease the impish western wind? And then also keep going past that up in space. Whoop, same time. We're just gonna go for the bad end first. Because there's no way that telling him you're not so sure about spaceflight is going to work out. His eyes widen. You see them sparkle? Ah, I see. You're an individual with more sophisticated palate. A real connoisseur of the buoyant arts you are. Someone like you could never be satisfied with the anemic affair of traveling through the inky blackness of galaxies. Is this the one to the good end after all? I believe a jaunt to my hive is in order. Let's get a wiggle on. There was a lot going on there, but you understand that he wants you to follow him. The friendly guy... What the fuck? The friendly guy takes you to a building where all of the rooms seem to be balanced on spindly looking stilts. The hive soars above you up into the sky. Interesting. He gestures to a little platform attached to a pulley system, like a room entry elevator. It brings you up into a small dark room. I like the manta ray looking ship. His house is pretty much what you would have guessed. The walls are covered in star maps and pictures of spaceships. You notice that many of them have cheery slogans splashed across them, saying things like, "Explore the galaxies," because you're required to fulfill your duty to society. And enlist, travel, make friends, don't get cold. Your new friend doesn't seem too happy as he looks around the place. Just a hive for a dedicated spacecraft enthusiast, isn't it? You nod. You're not sure what this is leading to, but no one ever went wrong relying on non-specific and plausibly deniable agreement. Who am I fooling? You rumbled me, potential new chum. What you see before you is a collage of falsehoods. I'm nothing but an avatar of baloney. In truth, the myriad temptations and desires of space do nothing to tickle my biscuit. Oh, for the love of God, please don't say tickle my biscuit. The thought of participating in the glorious external conquest gives me the screaming memes. My interest lies in something a little lower down. God. Is this gonna be as bad as the fucking hot dog one? He reaches up and peels back one of the posters. Behind it is another poster, showing a view of clouds in the night sky. Behold! My shame! The truth is, I long to toss and turn within the grasp of Mistress Gravity's sweet fingers. To traverse the sky. Can such a thing be? Oh, I don't know what I was expecting with him, but this was certainly not what I thought I was getting into. Imagine flying within the confines of Alternia's very atmosphere, defining the very conventions of what we all know to be true. Instead of down, up. Instead of falling, soaring. Can you imagine? Can you see it before you? Could you ever dream of the existence of such a flying machine? So if I tell him airplanes exist, is that going to get me to the good end? Because I've told him that what he's looking for is a thing, or is it going to break his heart and send me to the bad end? I think it's going to lead me to the bad end. I brought you here to show you my truth, and you treat me to mockery. An airplane, a plane that floats in the air. Flying machines are a serious business. I think you should leave. MC looks so disappointed and confused. Well, one bad end now. I'm going to go back to this part and get the other bad end. Well then, we're in. It really is. Well then, we are in total agreement. Two kindred souls traveling hand in hand into a glorious yet inevitable future of conscripted service in space. Which is, as I've already made clear, a thing I most definitely and positively desire. So it seems we have nothing more to discuss. Toodaloo! I love that both of the bad ends for this just leave MC bewildered as to what's just happened. Alright, now to get the good end. Which I assume is this one where he tells you all about his thing that he's invented, or that he wants to invent. Ah, but the future's ours to build, my strange-hued and unhoarded comrade. What do you think? Does it excite you? Do my ideas rattle your buttons? Yeah, at least he's to the point about it. You can't help but notice he's referred to you as a chum and a comrade, but friend hasn't made an appearance yet. Do synonyms count? Or is it just a tick of his speaking style? You look as earnest as you can and nod vigorously. You're almost positive this is the thing he really wants you to express interest in. Aha! The truth will out. You and I share this What the fuck is that word? I did not go to college to be stumped by a game. You and I share this furtive, I assume that's how you say that, passion for the indulgences of the air. I'm gonna look up that word. Um, Furtive. Attempting to avoid notice or attention, typically because of guilt or a belief that discovery would lead to trouble. Secretive. Yeah, sure, that tracks. A dialogue between a troll, a flying machine, and the stars. We're further away from the stars than we would be in a spaceship. I cannot stress enough how different of a thing that is. You can't decide between nodding and shaking your head here, so you furrow your brow and do your best to look thoughtful. Like maybe you are contemplating the differences. Oh. This fellow's demeanor towards you is definitely shading more to the more temperate climate zones. However, certain physical needs are starting to assert themselves. You're still pretty banged up from your previous adventures, but right now the aching of your stomach is screaming for attention. Wait, but didn't we eat grub cakes or something when we were with Skyla? You humbly ask your friend to be if there might be any chance of getting a bite to eat. But of course. Why, if I'd known you had a rumbling in the old digestion bladder, I would have shut my yappers too sweet. Oh, yeah, true. The sun was coming up, and now it's nighttime. Time for a good old nosh. A rough yummaroonie. What ho? Oh, jeez. I ain't heard some of these things in like years. Now, how should we obtain the victuals? The what? Hold on. One of these days, I'm just gonna start a tally for how many words I have to look up while I'm playing. While I'm playing this. Oh, okay. It's food and provisions. That is the word we were. That was the word that we were exposed to there. We could venture into the great unknown, which is to say, out of my hive. Or we could stay here, beholden to whatever twists and turns Lady Fate has in store for us in the nutrition block. What say you, new timer? Oh god, there's more than one option for the car. I'm worried about picking. I guess I could have just overwritten the other one since I've now done both of those. Oh well. We'll stay in the hive. You tell him any food he has in the house will be fine. Surely staying here will get you fed more quickly. No problem at all, my fine and fervent fellow. However, I believe two kindred souls, such as ourselves, have more ways of communicating than mere words alone. I know you've just met MC, but you're going to find out that's very wrong because MC is a dumbass. I think I'm grasping the meaning behind your request. The signal from your transmitter is pinging my cranial orbs receiver. I can think. I can see what you're truly after is food for the soul. You definitely meant food for the body. You look for an opening where you might gently correct your new buddy. seems to be working himself up to say a lot more things. The delectable nutrition of what a troll's truest being craves. The sustenance of thought, of imagination, of desire. That which nourishes itself better than the grandest grub noodles. Art, passion, science. You might have a hankering to see what my flying machine design sketches. Despite your troubles, you can't help but think his enthusiasm is kind of sweet. You nod weakly. Are we going to pass out from hunger? You make one last attempt, indicating that food might strengthen you to fully appreciate his work. No need to worry. I am fully confident in your ability to take in my glorious blueprints. You have shown yourself to have quite the sturdy noggin and a discerning gander bulb. I would welcome your input. Morris blooms in your stomach. It feels nice to hear him compliment you. You're not sure what you've actually done to earn his praise, but you definitely don't want to ruin the show. Or ruin the snail. Maybe seeing his designs will be fun, even on an empty stomach. Maybe it will really nourish you on a level that will help you forget about the prosaic earthly nourishment you thought you wanted. You tell them you're in. Not so fast. That which I am planning to reveal to you is what I keep closest to my torso pillar. It's not that I don't trust you, my footloose and horn-free cohort, but I think I would like to trust you a little more before vivisecting myself and displaying my bleeding organs before your penetrating words, gaze, which is a metaphor for exposing my portfolio. Might I trouble you to participate in a small trust trial? No problem, you tell them. Yeah, we're so fucking thirsty for friendship that he could probably ask us to cut off a finger and we'd do it. Your bud insists you make yourself comfortable while he gets a few supplies. After a few minutes, he returns with a fistful of fabrics in different colors. What? I feel like every part of this journey here has been a left turn. Here's what's been bouncing around the old brain box of mine, buddy-o. I'm going to tie this blindfold around your face. Then I'm going to give you some instructions. And you're going to try to locate the case where I keep my treasured sketches. What? Okay. If you can find it, it's gotta mean we trust each other deeply. Like, two things working in unison to achieve liftoff. If that's how things work. If that's how wings work. Well, I promise I can read. I'm still figuring out the principles of the matter. What a romp. Are you up for it? It's too late to turn back now, and really, you don't want to. It's kind of a relief to have him tell you that you can do. And really, maybe I can't read. Wow. It's kind of a relief to have him tell you what you can do to earn his friendship in plain terms. Well, as plain as this guy's terms ever get. You give him a thumbs up. Now we're on the trolley. He quickly ties the fabric around your face. The time is upon us. Time for the inaugural flight of our deepening bond. Time to nudge our fledgling companionship out of the nest and see what happens. Your new friend starts to direct you around the room. To the left? No, to my left. Okay, sorry, I meant your left. And now, onwards to the glorious future that lies before us. You smile weakly, doing your best to follow his instructions. He sounds happy. So you must be getting somewhere. Almost to the doorway. 3 steps forward if you would be so... Wait! I feel like I should just drop something on my desk for the crash noise. Sure, we'll just... That's as good as we're getting. The cane is the only thing I can grab. You stagger backwards from the impact. You hear yourself wheeze. The shock has totally knocked your lungs out of commission. Your chest jerks in tiny contractions as you gasp for air. The fuck did he run us into? Oh, beans. Ding dang darn it. There's no pain, just an intense pressure focused on the center of your face. Right, right around where you ran into something face first. You pull out the blindfold, and you hear footsteps, which probably means your new friend is rushing over to help. He gets he gets the blindfold untied, and his face swims into your vision. He looks utterly gobsmacked. Why, I'll be a horned beast grub food. What the fuck? Copacetic. Okay. Everything copacetic, new pal? You put your hand to your face and touch something wet. Sure enough, when you pull your fingers away, you're covered in blood. Your nose isn't gushing or anything, just sending out a couple of rivulets to let you know you're having a bad day. It's not so bad. You tell your acquaintance this, but he doesn't look any less horrified. Shivering stratocumuli. All this time I've been testing you to see if I could place the tender gift of trust in your declawed little hands. And here you've bestowed upon me the greatest trust of all, knowledge of your non-standard hematological attributes. I am truly honored, flabbergasted, absolutely pushed to the brink of rationality by such a display of faith. Never mind the trust trial, you deserve to see my sketches. Just wait here. Be back in 2 shakes of a baby Bobby sign quarters. I'm not gonna lie, this one is so fun. You sit down on the floor again, wiping the blood off your face. You're not going to question the stroke of luck you've been shown. Why, if you knew bleeding was the key to his affections all along, you could have encouraged some blood from the sites of your multiple injuries. Fun and enduring, yeah. But no matter. You sniff the last of the blood back up into your nostrils, tasting metal at the back of your throat. Oh. Oh no, we are enduring and they are enduring. When your almost friend returns, he drops a big stack of papers onto your lap. You page through the designs. The first few are rudimentary, mostly variations on spaceships with little notes like how to make it not reach escape velocity. Velocity. And less jet fuel. This shape could be less aerodynamic. But as you keep going, the designs get pretty interesting. One seems to rely on some big rotating sails to achieve lift. Another shows a light frame body attached to 4 jointed wings. You briefly wonder what he plans to make the wings out of before you see the note stating that these are dragon wings. A follow-up scribble states, flapping mechanism? How to soften rigor mortis? Like actual dragons? Okay. But hang on. You take a look at the machine's frame. This guy's sketch is pretty detailed. The frame doesn't seem to be made of wood or aluminum as you expected, but smaller individual shapes lashed together with some kind of cord. Maybe it's just a... Alternia has dragons? Well, fuck. Maybe it's just a macabre... It's macabre, right? I'm going to assume it's macabre. Maybe it's just a macabre aesthetic. But you think it looks like bones? You look back at the other designs. Now that you look at it, the scales on this one have a texture that might be leather or similar. I'm not gonna lie. The more of this game that I play, the more fascinated I am by Alternia in general. The sketches themselves are picked out in a variety of colors, not dissimilar from some of the brand new blood colors you've discovered lately. Why does that feel slightly ominous? Oh boy, you've been down this creepy alien road before, using your lightest, most jocular tone. You question the bone shapes. You soften your words with a big, not freaked out smile. What's that? Well, I'm not a construction professional, you know. Gotta make use of what's available. Only cold man words. Only cold low bloods and grubs, of course. Not an ounce of insurrectional spirit in this fellow over here. Fear not, unhorned one. These wacky cultural differences. You just misunderstood. You take refuge in your old standby of nodding and smiling. It's none of your business what body parts this fella uses or doesn't use to make his Wright Brothers transformative fan works. That is a way to describe that, I guess. Friends aren't for judging people's use of corpses as construction materials anyways. You know, when you crash landed on my planet, I had no idea what to think. I'm just gonna go with Vicare. Vicare, oh boy, you really shot the balls now. That's what I told myself. Planes made out of corpses seems like something from the Magnus Archives. I still haven't started the Magnus Archives. I need to. It's on my list of things to start. And then I get sidetracked. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was going to start Ruby today, and I got sidetracked because there was a small child in the building. Not my small child. I do not have those. But some of the other lab assistants have to babysit sometimes. So maybe next day I have off, I'll be able to actually properly start either of those. Telling an alien about your flying dreams? That's ruffled the kitty, and no doubt about it. Some phrases just need, I love these phrases. They are great. They make me stop in my tracks and have to do a double take. But now that you're here, now that we're here, and you're having a looky-loo at my sketches, I'm thinking it might have been right for us to meet all alone. Perhaps the work of the... Oh, that's capricious. Perhaps the work of the capricious Madame Destiny. Surely he's about to say that you're friends. You can always taste the sweet, friendship-affirming syllables coming from his mouth. You're just seconds away from that coveted F word. Or are you? Maybe you've misconstrued everything. You look back down at the sketches. Bones in this one. Bones in that one. He says these plans call for the bones of aliens like him. At least, if you understood him correctly. But they don't really look that different from, well, the bones you're more familiar with. Your own bones. Your bones, which have already gone through a lot today. And maybe seem to be in kind of harvestable condition, if one was so inclined. You clear your throat. You say, he's not in the market for these materials right now, is he? Like, right now? The friendly guy doesn't understand your question. You're not gonna push it. But you do risk a quick glance at yourself, then back at him, then back at yourself, just to see if he's checking out the stuff, so to speak. You look back at him. He looks aghast. Oops. Heavens biscuits. Is that what you think of me? You think I'm the type to start taking people's body parts all higgity-piggity? As if there aren't enough thoughtlessly discarded rib cages to work with. Is that the type of gent you think you're looking for in these parts? I'm afraid I'm not the type of aggressive heartthrob you're after. Heartthrob? We can't all be macho, bloodthirsty, romantic hero types. Ready to whip out our organ harvesting tools at a moment's notice. I thought we could be friends. I thought we could be friends, but now I see you're looking for something different. Nipsey got paranoid at the wrong time. Instead of any other time when it would have been helpful. Yeah, like the one time that we do not need to be exceedingly paranoid of our surroundings. That's when Nipsey gets paranoid about it. My apologies. I think it's best if you go elsewhere. You try to correct the misunderstanding, but you're not fully sure what the misunderstanding is. How the fuck do you not know what the misunderstanding is? This guy doesn't seem to be in any mood for friendship right now. You hang your head. Looks like this was all just a big waste of time. Cane fell over. We good. Oh look, we're back to the baffled expression. So we've done both of those. Oh, that's not. This. Alright, let's go out and look for food. From your budding chum's words, it sounds like he himself isn't sure if there's any food in the house. Best to risk it and go outside. You tell him your decision. Tough choice, buckaroo. Foraging is how I while away most of my time, after all. There's just one small matter to trouble the old brain power. If we're venturing out into the unknown yonder, we should obtain some chow for my Lucis as well. He'll be a real grumpy Gustav if he goes it too long without his dosh. The more I talk, the more I can tell that I'm all congested. When storms come through, I get like super congested. Since it was storming here earlier. I'm surprised I don't sound like I've got a bunch of cotton shoved in my face, which I might sound like that and just don't realize it. You draw yourself up proudly. It's taken a lot of bizarre run-ins and harrowing close shaves, but you know all about Lucis's. You inquire about Gustav, was it? Ho ho, what a card you are. No, my Lucis. I call him the Canary. Where is his Lucis if he's just whipping out a picture? Okay. He whips out a photo. It shows a smaller version of himself, his horns nothing but stubs. A far too big pair of aviator goggles slipping off his nose. Standing behind him is a large white fowl, big scraggly wings folded back against its body. You want to say an emu? Whatever it is, it's definitely not a canary. As strange as it is, he does look like the type to have an emu-shaped Lucis. Its beak touches the top of your pal's head with something that might count as affection. He's not a persnickety sort. All kinds of bugs and leaves will tickle his fancy. Shall we away? Shall we greet the horizon that rushes forward to meet us with astounding grace? Shall we give ourselves over to the current of time's great river? Sure, you tell him. You can leave the house. It's getting a lot easier to pay attention to only the words this guy says that actually makes sense. You kind of enjoy his way of speaking, though. If nothing else, it gives you the feeling that he's really excited about this food quest you're going on together. Your alien pal leads you back down through the pulley system and outside again. The trip is not so easy on your bruised ribs. The thing about walking is, when you walk, your body moves. You've had better times, is all you're saying. You indicate as much to your companion. Oh boy, I hear you. Moving while attached to alternative surface is the worst kind of hooey. The moment when autonomous flight is invented trembles ever closer to the present. Can you hear it approach? The wail of a distant klaxon, the call to adventure. It beckons us forward through the years, a golden thread stretching ever onward to that glorious inevitability. That's not what you meant, but his excitement cheers you up a little. Maybe you will feel better in the future when someone invents flight on this planet. Certainly by that time, you'll either be further along in your healing or dead. Either way, thinking about the future brings a little rosy glow to your heart. You ask your buddy where you're going next. That world is what? That world is our bivalvular sea critter. We'll go wherever the wind calls our names. Great. But if it's the short-term answer you're inquiring after, there's a specific plant the canary likes to eat. It's got white petals and leaves as red as a troll's most lurid desires. What that mean? Could you give a holler if your bulbs fall on something of that persuasion? You agree to keep an eye out. You continue trudging along beside him, wincing whenever your steps jolt your injuries. Maybe a little conversation will help distract you. You ask your new friend what got him so interested in flying in the first place. What could be better? Up there, free of worldly concerns, the wind in your face and the horizon at your back, seeing the continent spread out below you. Finally feeling that your personal aesthetic is appropriate for the given circumstances. You chew over this one for a minute or two. It seems like what really makes this guy tick is the travel and adventure thing. Or maybe that's just what you're getting from his general demeanor and pretty much everything he said up to, until now. You're nervous to bring up anything that might make him dislike you, but in the interest of bonding, you forge ahead. Aren't there, you say with apprehension, maybe some similarities between flying and space travel? Like, maybe being in a spaceship could satisfy some of these urges? What? There may be some superficial similarities to trick the control, but in essence, the blood pusher and soul of each as different as night and day, as a mountain in a ditch, a star in a mud puddle. Don't get a fellow wrong. Space travel is fine. Well, it's the only way to satisfy our bloodthirsty and nearly immortal overlords, and I look forward to such a time when I can be of service in the eternal millstone grind of intergalactic conquest. But it's still missing the punch, the pizzazz, the kaboom, the trunk beast honk of it all. Just as you feared, you stepped in it now. You're struggling for a response when out of the corner of your eye, you spot a cluster of white flowers. Wait, I thought the leaves were white and the flowers were red. Oh, I gotta go back to that and make sure that I didn't misread it. Oh. Flowers were white, leaves were red. Relieved, you point them out to your companion, who races over to gather them. But when he holds one up, you see it has blue leaves, not red. Your shoulders droop. Seems like all you're doing is disappointing your buddy, who's been so nice to you. Or at least that's what you think you've read between the lines of his confusing speaking style. Fear not, my smooth-headed compatriot. These are not the loosest rations we sought, but this plant is people chow. What I mean to say is we can eat it, since we are people. It's food for people, not food made of people. To be clear. He comes back with a fistful of flowers and hands you one of the blue leaves. You're not all that sure that food that's safe for your buddy will be safe for you as well, but at this point you don't have much to lose. Besides, with the way your stomach is groaning, it might as well be a perfectly seared steak. You put it in your mouth. Chewing on the leaf, you feel even more affectionate towards this guy than before. You were worried this trip was just turning into an excuse for him to run some kind of household errand, but he really did find you something to eat. You are desperate to find some way to show him that you understand his interests. You want to connect to him on a deep soul level. Anything to get him to look at you with that treasured glow of friendship in his eyes. Whenever he mentions space travel, he talks about how it's something that he has to do. Some kind of necessary obligation. So maybe there's a reason he's fixated on... maybe there's a reason he's fixated on an activity that's kind of similar, but just a little different. Maybe he doesn't want to do the required thing, the space conquest, but doesn't have it in him to rebel entirely all the way. Friendsim simulator? Yeah. Yeah, MC kind of is a simp for anyone that, like, smiles in their general direction. Maybe airplane flight or whatever similar thing he is envisioning is a compromise between what he has to do and what he wants to do. A balance. Like, almost fine. In order to live as an individual in a society that shapes one's desires from birth. You cautiously open your mouth. Heart pounding, you venture to ask your pal if he maybe would rather not satisfy the demands of the bloodthirsty overlords. Yeah, there's something very wrong with MC. I'm just not entirely sure what it is yet. If maybe part of him wants to get into his flying machine and, well, leave. For real. He seems taken aback. Maybe you should have never said it. What a huge mistake. You've probably pushed his friendship out of your reach for good now. Panicking, you point to the side, yelling that you see a big field of white flowers in that direction. Your potential friend leaps to action, seemingly also glad to be given a reason not to answer this question. He races forward in the direction you indicated. Oh. Did we send our new friend over the edge of a cliff or some shit? In a matter of seconds, there's a yelp and your new acquaintance vanishes. Instantly, you realize your error. You didn't look where you were pointing. While walking, you unwittingly came close to the edge of a large cliff, which your companion has now disappeared over. I was joking about the cliff part. You race to the side, your stomach flooding with fear. Empty is dumb of ass, not pure of heart. Yeah, no. There, MC doesn't even look around anymore. Well, MC never looked around, but that's not the point there. You race to the side, your stomach flooding with fear. This is absolutely the opposite of what you wanted. Oh, poor dude. You look down in horror. Your friend Neil looks approximately how you felt when you first crash landed on the dark planet. He's conscious, his face frozen in shock, but one leg is twisted underneath him in a nasty way. You may not be familiar with his alien anatomy, but you're almost positive that it shouldn't look like that. You call out to him in distress. Sure, he's going to... The fuck is that word? Castigate. Reprimanding. Severely. You call out to him in distress. Sure, he's going to castigate you for your mistake. The strangeness of his language won't make it hurt any less to lose this guy's trust forever. Whoa! Go! His voice floats up from the ground below. Weak but somewhat jovial? Is it possible he's not angry? Oh, joy is happening. Oh, delight for the body and spirit. Did you see? Did your being absorb what occurred before your very visage? I flew, soared through the air, just for a moment, but it happened. An ecstasy like none I've ever known. You hesitate. Is it really possible that he could be taking this so well? Maybe your big fuck up was a step in the right direction after all? It's definitely a little worrying to hear him celebrate a dangerous fall, but none of that matters if you can secure his friendship at last. My strange associates, come on down here. We will celebrate in grand fashion this eve. How did you know that a brief sojourn through unfettered air would bring me such joy? You're a fine fellow, a truly superb friend. Your heart lifts with joy. He said it! Of course, you now have to find some way to climb down a cliff with your messed up ribs, not to mention figuring out how to transport someone with a broken leg back to the house. You're not really sure if that's possible, or when the adrenaline that's got you this far will give out and force you to succumb to your own pain. But with a night full of difficulties ahead of you, you couldn't ask for a better balm than knowing you'll face them hand in hand with your friend. Assuming he didn't hurt his hands as well. No matter, you did it. A little thumbs up. Oh, that's great. Be careful, otherwise MC is going to throw more people off cliffs under the hope someone else will call them a friend. Yeah, I would also be greatly concerned about that. He may have taught MC an incorrect lesson there. So, I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting there are so many of them. Yeah, absolutely. The one thing MC will have learned out of this is, oh, just point in a direction and you will make friends. I think it's almost time for me to go to bed. So I think I will end the stream here tonight. And then I think it'll be end of next week that I stream HIVESWAP again. So good night.